Which fridge should I buy? I'm finding out that it's a hard decision to make.
In this video, I'm going to give you some important tips to help you decide, and in the process, show you one that I think is a pretty good one. First, determine what size you'll need to haul all your food and drinks. This can be a little tough to determine just by looking at website photos. Manufacturers will give you the measurements of the outside, but very seldom give you the dimensions of the interior. Also remember that one end of this inside has to make room for the compressor and the backside of the control panel. This is a very popular size, 45 liters. This is a size that Mary and I use all the time, and it does us just fine with all of our food and drinks. We could have an entire week, well, not enough beer, but enough food for a week in here. The outside dimensions are, not including the handle sticking out, this is 26 inches by 16 and about 18.5 tall. For the inside dimensions on this one, you'll see here, this is that little bump out that houses the compressor and the back of the control panel. So we'll just measure this large side first, and that is about 13.5 by 14 by about 11.5. Now for this side, it's only 7 inches this way and about 6.5 deep and the same 11.5 inches wide. And this is what it'll hold. 10 bottles of water, bottle of wine, 12 pack of beer, and all of these food containers. Now keep in mind, not all 45 liter fridges have the same measurements. Some are a little taller, some a little wider, but I think this gives you a pretty decent idea of how much a 45 liter will hold. Next, measure the space in your vehicle where it's going to be setting. You don't want to buy one that's too big. If you just compare fridges side by side, they all do basically the same thing. They keep food and drinks cool. They all use about the same amount of power to operate, depending on the size, of course. This one uses 3.5 to 4 amps when the compressor is running. And for the most part, they all have the same control features. A max and eco mode. We put this on max when the contents are just put in and the temp needs to get down really fast, and when we're cooking and we're in it a lot. Any other time, it's set on eco. A low cutoff, this will turn the fridge off when the car's battery gets down to a set voltage. This will make sure there's enough power left to start the engine. And of course, a temperature setting. And they'll all operate on either the 110 in your house or the 12 volt in your vehicle. This particular fridge is rather unique. It has a 12 volt plug-in on both ends. That gives you two options on how you put this in your vehicle. If you've been looking at automotive fridges like this, which I assume you have, then you already know that this is a sizable investment. When deciding which to buy, you really need to look past the physical appearance and, to a point, the price. Since automotive fridges like this have become extremely popular, there are a bunch of companies jumping on the bandwagon. You need to investigate the maker and seller and see where their support team is located, or if they have one at all. Where is it being sold? Is it only available on Amazon? For Mary and I, that is a huge red flag. Not always, but usually those sellers are in it for the short term. They make a fistful of money out of selling them, and then they move on to something else. Look into their product support system. Is there a phone number? Is it a number that's recognizable for the country that you're living in? Call it, see who answers. And do they list an address for their office and warehouse in your country? Bottom line, buyer beware. There are a lot out there that are selling cheap knockoffs that seem like a pretty good deal price-wise. This is a big investment. You're going to want to buy one from a company that will stand behind it, just in case something goes wrong with it. Which brings us to this fridge specifically. Full disclosure, this one was given to us by ICECO to try out, then get back to them on what we think about it. We've been using this out here in the shop, running continuously for 5 months. I think that's a fair amount of time. If something was going to go wrong with it, you would think it would have happened by now. The temperature range was extremely consistent. Obviously, it's much better when it's completely full with bottled water and beer. This one is much quieter than all the others that we've tested out here. In fact, it's running right now. Here's the microphone. That's pretty quiet. On this one, the latches are a bit odd. You push in and up at the same time, like that. But once you get used to it, they work great. The lid can be opened from either side or taken off completely. I've known about this brand for quite a while. They've earned a strong reputation for their quality and innovation. Because of that, I thought they'd been in business for a long, long time, but turns out it's only been 15 years. But they've been very busy in that 15 years. They have all kinds of models and they hold close to 100 patents. A comforting thing to know is they have 5 warehouses just here in the US where these ship out of, and they have a growing number of reputable brick and mortar stores selling them. The heart of any fridge is the compressor. This is what really makes or breaks a fridge. You definitely get what you pay for here. The one this fridge uses is made by a company called ICECO. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it used to be called Danfoss, which that's a name that I recognized right off. They are well known worldwide, been in business for about 65 years, making refrigerator compressors. ICECO puts out a 5-year warranty on the compressor, 1-year warranty on all the other parts of the fridge. They are obviously committed to the long term. Moving from a cooler to a fridge is a game changer. Going to a fridge that's reliable and will last you many, many years is a game winner. So if you learned a little bit about fridges or just simply liked this video, hit that like button, and I hope you consider subscribing to our channel. Thanks for watching.